Hello and welcome to the AM Munch. I am Michael and that's Amy. And we're here to give you a little munch for today, this week. And we're going to talk about passing things on, passing it on, making sure
Not the flu or anything.
not the flu or anything, something
Nothing like
really
that.
good that you pass on, good feeling, good vibes and stuff. And I think one thing I want to share with you is that uh, I do this sometimes. I'm going to tell you, I don't do it all the time, being honest, being very, very transparent. When I go through a drive-through and I buy myself something to eat, and I think about the person behind me, and I say, you know what? I'm gonna pay for that person's food. And I only pay for it if there's nobody in front of me. So that way I can pay for it. I go to the next window and then boom, I'm gone because I don't want that person to thank me for it.
Yeah, I
I
love that.
want them to pass it on because that's what I tell the cashier. I said, just tell them pass it on, and you never know how far it goes. So I did this one time. I had a fast food place. I'm not going to give a fast food place any credit, but I'm not credit, but anyway, I did a fast food place. And maybe I went back there about a week later, a few days later, and the guy says, hey, you were the guy that paid for the person's food behind you, right?" I was like, "Yeah, that was me." And he says, "Man, right after you did that, it's like it just started a chain reaction, and everybody started paying for the person behind them. It was really so cool." And I tell you, it did my heart good to hear that and stuff, to know that it started a chain reaction just by me paying for one person's food. It encouraged not only the people behind me that I didn't know, but the guy that's at the register that actually saw it, and he was able to see that love and that care that we can have for people, and we can have it every day. It didn't take much. All I
And
took
he was a
was
participant in it
he was,
too, because he was
yeah,
letting people know. So he was part of the plan, whether
he
he
was
knew
part
it
of the
and you
plan.
knew it, he
That
was.
he did know. Yeah, he didn't know it was part of the plan. Yeah, yeah. So, think about the time that you pass it on, and then again, not looking for credit because we don't do things because we want to get so much credit for. We do things because we really care, and
Hmm.
we want people to care. And sometimes they forget how to care. And I think we.
Oh, let's sit with that for a second.
Okay, all
They
right.
forget how to care. They just,
Uh-huh. Yeah,
we get so caught up in survival and who's wronged us and how do we make things happen and blah.
yeah. And that's it's not a good place to be. It's like, caring for yourself, sometimes it really is about just thinking about other people and doing something and being grateful, you know, and yet live a life of gratitude, and you're thinking about how can I do something for somebody else, and all of a sudden we're caring for ourselves because we feel good about doing something for somebody else because we can.
And literally, physically, there's chemicals created when you do good for others.
Oh, okay.
So there, doing endorphins and that, right? So,
Right.
there have been research that has proven that. So it's
Uh-huh.
for your good too.
Yes.
It's like, being part of the self-care club, you know,
Self-love club.
is,
Self-love.
doing things for others. And, especially, that I personally love doing unexpected things.
Yeah.
Leaving little things. And I have several pull-off calendars.
Uh-huh.
And the one from yesterday, I guess yesterday was the Holocaust Remembrance Day, which
Uh-huh.
let's be honor that. But this
Yeah.
is from Natalie Portman, and she says, grab the good people around you and don't let them go.
Don't let them go. Don't let them go. You know,
And we both lost plenty of people that we loved.
yeah.
And so it's like, so what I always try, not in a morbid way, but I was like, what if, Michael isn't here tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Today, I want to make sure everything I did and said, he will know how much I love him, appreciate him, and
Right.
how important he is in my life.
And it's important that we do that because sometimes people, when, the, yeah, not being morbid, but, everybody's going to die. And we never know when our time is coming. But when it does happen, we never want to second guess whether or not that person, our feelings, or that person didn't know how we felt about them, or we didn't know how we felt. Is that way? how they felt about us and how we felt about them. We want to know. Amy, I love you. So it's on record now. It's on record.
Yes. All
It's
right.
on
I've got
record.
captured that. I'm gonna, on loop over and over
So
and
yeah.
over
See,
again.
and it really just takes just that moment. I mean, I'll tell my best friend, I tell my wife all the time, and not that she has a bad memory, but
Unfortunately, we kind of remember the things that made us the mad, right? Yeah.
yeah,
Go
yeah,
back to
it
that
just
10 seconds of, oh, he said he loved me. He said he loved
I mean,
me.
yeah. I tell my children, I tell my loved ones, I tell my friends, I tell my close friends, I mean, you gotta let people know that I love you. I mean,
And you show us, but
show
not only
you.
by saying it, by doing it,
Exactly.
and let's talk a little bit about what are some ways you can do that. One
Uh,
one of the things that I enjoy doing is I'll write little notes and put them in my husband actually does have a little lunch pail that he takes,
uh-huh.
that I'll put in his lunch pail.
Uh-huh.
And I hope that matters. I think it matters.
Well, I think that's a love deposit. I think so. I think it's a big love deposit right there.
I love
I
to
think
buy
so. Yeah, and that's
it.
the thing. We got to know what is. I mean, because a lot of people feel good about things that we do for them, but what are some of the things that we do that are love deposits? You know, we do too many withdrawals sometimes,
Oh yeah. Oh, and you
but
see, you see a person's phone number come up
uh-huh,
and you're like, "Oh gosh, what do they want now?"
yeah, oh, yeah,
Right? Not,
yeah,
"Oh boy, this is going to be fulfilling and fun," but it's like they're going to leverage me somehow.
yeah, yeah. No, we want to make some deposits. Make more deposits than you do withdrawals, but you got to know what is it that makes a deposit in someone's bank.
Exactly, because each person's different.
Mhm.
Okay, Gary, is it Chapman who wrote The Five Languages of Love?
Uh-huh.
If you haven't read that, it's phenomenal because it talks about how you may think you're doing something for somebody that they're gonna, oh my God, they're gonna love that. And they're like, they hate it
They
because
hate
it's
it.
not right. It's not their, receiving style.
Right.
And he even wrote a book on appreciation at the five languages at work, which is a really,
Huh.
really good book. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you want to give people what makes them happy.
What makes them happy? Yeah. Not everybody wants you to make food for them. Not everybody wants flowers. Not everybody wants, believe it or not, yeah, money. Yeah, nobody, everybody wants that. That's not a deposit into their love bank. Sometimes they just want you just to hold them. Sometimes they just want you to shake their hand. Sometimes they just want you to acknowledge them or acknowledge the work that they do. And that's one big reason why we always try to acknowledge the people in our community that are behind the scenes, those that never get recognized for the work that they do. There's so many people behind the scenes in the veteran community that you don't know their names. We want to get their names out. There's so many people in the law enforcement field that you don't know their names. We want to get their names out. And not that they're looking for their recognition, but we want to acknowledge that they are doing the work that they're doing because that feels good still. Let's not downplay that. It feels good to be noticed for the work that you're doing, but it also feels good knowing that you're not doing it because you're looking for the recognition.
And because there's times it's so hard,
Hmm.
it's so hard, and then I can remember, when somebody had honored what I had done.
Uh-huh.
We have a yearly Community Connect community service
Yeah, conference.
awards.
Uh-huh.
And there's like, humanitarian and then, 12
Yeah.
other ones,
Yeah.
police, firemen. And every one of them, I got to be the Vanna White. So he's giving out the awards. I'm carrying the word over and, I get to do that. That was super fun.
Yeah.
And every one of them said, I don't do this for an award. And I
Right.
said to them, that's why we gave it to you.
That's why you gave it to him. Yeah, when we did that, and especially for the fire department, when they had all of the support
Oh,
there from his department, I know it was station number one that we initially gave it to, but they wanted to give it to one specific person, and we recognized that one specific person that was doing the work because they realized he was the guy that was doing stuff that he was not, he's never been recognized for, and so we recognized him. We had that opportunity, and he spoke very well. Spoke very well
and he had his wife there, and
and
it
his
was just,
wife there and everything, it just great. Sometimes the unexpected things that we do for people just brightens up their day. And so we want to leave you with that
even
thought.
if they act like it doesn't.
Right. we want to leave you with that thought. Sometimes it's not that you have to see it all the time, what you do, but the fact is that you're doing it. Because what we do in secrecy, it always comes out in the light. So make sure what you do in secrecy is good, because one day somebody's going to recognize the good that you're doing. But also, if you do anything in the darkness, right, that you're not supposed to, it's going to come to light too.
So I want to set out a challenge. What are
Okay.
you going to do today? You watching, going to
Yep.
do today
And
to
me.
pass on some good and me.
Why?
I am going to make sure everybody I see, I give a loving smile to.
Yeah. Yeah. You're always going to be a smile for me, no matter what.
It's our
Oh,
thing. It's
I'm
our thing.
having car problems and all kind of stuff right now, man, and waiting for my grandson to come. And yeah, I'm still smiling. I just, you know what? There's just, God has done too many things for me in my life that it's hard for me to be angry, upset, mad, disappointed, or depressed about anything because I realize all of the good that's happening around me. So that last thought, what was that last thought again, Amy, that you want to make
Pass
sure?
it on. Pass it on.
Pass it
Keep
on.
smiling. Pass
Keep
it
on.
on, right? And keep
Yeah.
breathing.
And keep breathing.
That should do it.
That should do it. Keep on smiling. Have a blessed day. I'm Michael. That's Amy. And this is the AM Munch with Amy and Michael. Have a blessed day. Bye bye. I think bye bye. Yeah, bye bye.